Of the Mackinac Policy Conference. I'm Christy McDonald. We are coming to you live from the parlor of the Grand Hotel as we are rounding to a close of day 2 of the conference. It's been busy. It's been a lot of talk about automotive, early childhood education, also revitalizing urban areas, and we also got to see some of the drivers from Team Penske who are going to be taking to the road on Belle Isle this weekend for the Detroit Grand Prix, which was pretty cool. We're awfully glad that you are joining us here on our live streaming video at MiVote.org, or if you're joining us from any of the PBS stations from around the state of Michigan, hello. And if you're watching us from any of the other streaming video sites on your favorite media site that's carrying this, we appreciate you stopping by and saying hello. Make sure you check us out on social media if you'd like to chime in and tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. We take it all. We take all the feedback. You can find us at MiVote on Facebook, or you can find us on MiVote on Twitter. You can use the hashtag MiVoteMac. And all of that social media has been brought to us by Health Alliance Plan, so we thank them very much. But joining me now at the big table, I've been trying to get him to stop by the MiVote set all day long. It's Macomb County Executive Mark Hackel. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Christy, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me stop by. I appreciate it.
Well, it's getting a little busy in the parlor right now. And how have you found your conference experience so far? And what's some good conversations you've had?
Well, it's interesting. It's a lot different, I think, without having a legislator here. I think you have an opportunity to really have a little bit more dialogue and more connectivity, and even get the message out when we're talking about the media. There's been more opportunities to sit down and talk to the media about things that are going on. I think some of the dialogue really is a continuation of the things we've been talking about. Mine is to try to figure out how do we promote Macomb County. This gives me a great opportunity to segue into something we just rolled out the other day. In fact, it was a press conference we had prior to coming up here about this new website we created, and it's called MakeMacombYourHome.com.
Now, I have to stop you because as I was coming up to the island, driving up here on Memorial Day, I'm on I-75, I'm having a great road trip listening to the radio, and then I looked to the side, right? When I'm getting close to the bridge, and there was your smiling face on a billboard.
Well, we did it intentionally. Again, I try to be very creative and very different. Even as a sheriff, my job is to figure out how do I connect with the public, get them to understand that product that we offer, and that's public safety. I had a great connectivity with the media, and as county executive, I come to realize that Macomb County really struggles in an area of really an identity. And we've never done that. As a county executive, I get the opportunity to better understand, brand, and market the county. Well, what better way to do that than have an opportunity here on Mackinac Island and to talk to the media by putting a billboard just south of the city itself, the limits where you're catching a ferry. And the buzz around here in the conversation has been, hey, what's up with that billboard? Why did you put that billboard there? And my canned response is it's because they wouldn't let me put it on the island. That's why it's there.
Yeah, they might stop you on that one.
But it's to create the attention for Macomb County, so people go to that site and get a better understanding, even people living in the county, what Macomb County really is all about.
So make Macomb your home.
MakeMacombyOurHome.com, and again, as you look at it, it talks about why people want to work there, play there, and invest there. Macomb County is a growing county. We've had the fastest growth than any other county in the state of Michigan over the last census period. It's 14 people a day over a 10-year period moved to Macomb County. There's huge investments in Macomb County. We've got AAA bond rating. In light of all the difficulties and challenges we're seeing in Wayne County, the city of Detroit, even at the national level, the reality is Macomb County is thriving. We're doing very well, and I want people to really understand what Macomb County is all about.
We've been talking a lot about Detroit. Usually a lot of focus comes on Detroit and Wayne County and revitalization. But it is interesting to point out, that there is still competition for those companies. I'm sure you'd love a company to move their headquarters into Macomb County and do business there as well. What is it in trying to market Macomb County that you've said, we really have to get a hook here and we really have to get the word out?
Well, we look at what we have as assets and then where we have access to. When we talk about our assets in Macomb County, 31.5 miles of coastline, Lake St. Clair, the busiest freshwater lake in the entire country during the summer months. We have what we call our mainstream Main Street. Happens to be the Clinton River with the paddling opportunities and the connectivity to waters and the streams. Absolutely incredible. The defense industry, that cluster from arsenal of democracy to arsenal of innovation, within that corridor dealing with defense, automotive, advanced manufacturing, homeland security, it is the defense capital of the Midwest. We want to grow that to become the defense capital of the world. But when we talk about our assets, we also have to give people an understanding as to if they're going to be moving to Macomb County, they're attracted to Macomb County from wherever they come from, we have access to other regional assets such as arts, entertainment, sporting venues. So we need to be competitive as a region and come together to figure out how do we get out there and market ourselves as a region. We wanted to have the first opportunity with this website and people to better understand the brand of Macomb County and how it fits into this region so that we can compete with other regions throughout the entire country for world resources.
Now, you said a little later on this evening you're going to be meeting with a bunch of people from Macomb County, business leaders who are here. How many people are here from Macomb County?
Well, you know what, I don't know the exact number, but I know there's a tremendous interest in Macomb County. We've never had the opportunity even to kind of look at our corporate leaders within the region, and in particular in Macomb County, to bring them together to help us figure out how do we drive the economic opportunities in Macomb County. People tend to rely upon government, whether it's a local government or the county government, to figure out how do we create an economic environment, how do we create an economic vision. You can't do that without the business sector. So we're creating a foundation, bringing some people together, key figures within the county, to figure out how do we actually come up with a plan for the county to look at those economic opportunities. Community development, that's where we really can strike and strike hard when we have the opportunities talking about our coastline, our rivers, our greenways. When you talk about pure Michigan, there can be nothing more pure than Macomb County when we start talking about that branding opportunity. So we're working on community development, but we want to partner with the private sector to have them engaged more in how do we actually look at Macomb County as an opportunity for people to grow business.
Tomorrow you're going to be sitting down with, it's the Fab Five, they market it as. Talk to me about the phrase regional cooperation, what it really means to you, and is there really such a thing?
Well, I do believe there is. I mean, I'm fortunate being the new guy, I guess, if you will, that came into this. But I've been into it, almost 17 months now. So I really can't consider myself the new guy anymore, because I've had the ability to work with Dave Bing, Bob Ficano, Brooks Patterson, and Conan, to some extent. But the reality is, the Regional 4 that we've been trying to figure out, okay, how do we look at what we have as our assets? How do we build upon it? We may be competitive to some degree, but the reality is we need to create and quit talking about this Regional Transit Authority. Create the authority so we can figure out what is the best regional transit system we can have to compete with other regional transit systems. And you know what? Partnering with the state and the governor. I don't care about the partisan aspect of Democrat versus Republican. This governor has given me plenty of opportunity to help grow Macomb County in various areas, and I'm going to continue to work with him to make that happen on behalf of the residents of Macomb County.
Why does it seem so hard to get some kind of regional transportation?
You know what, I don't know. I think you have some people that for some reason just don't see it as an advantage. They see it as a tax. They have seen some failing systems, whether it's DDOT, they're questioning what's going on with SMART, but there's absolutely no question about it. Those of us that are regional leaders need to understand people are always going to complain, have a negative attitude towards certain aspects of what we think is in the best interest of economic development, and just start moving forward with a plan that they can then vote on. But if we're not going to be able to put a regional transit authority together to start putting a plan together as to how it's going to be paid for and the governance model, then we're never going to get off the ground and really trying to figure out how do we become more competitive from that regional perspective when it comes to transportation.
I mean, you said that you're the new kid on the block. Not really so new kid on the block, but in terms of being the Macomb County executive, because you've actually been the first person in the created position. How have you found, and you've dealt with politics before as being the Macomb County Sheriff, but how have you found dealing with a whole new system as everyone's grappling with now? They have a county executive. What has it been like for you?
It's been a challenge, no question about it. I think what you've got is a former form of government where you had a board of commissioners that had both responsibilities of executive and legislative roles. And the new charter, I think it was pretty clear in the understanding as to what the role of the executive was. It was to take over the day-to-day operations and be the one that's going to lead with a vision for the county, and we have that now. There is a challenge, and I think it's because of the limited role that now the legislative branch has, and they're trying to figure out, what their role is really, and but to create legislation to try to figure out how you diminish the role and responsibility of the executive office, that just can't happen. And so there was some legal contention and some fighting that took place there, but I think the courts were pretty adamant in their response, and the court said, hang on, the role of the executive is created by the people, and as a result, it's the executive that's going to lead this county, and that I will do. I want to take responsibility, accountable for the actions of the executive office, and to have the ability to lead with a vision, and we haven't really had that before. It was mostly by committee or consensus. Today's day and age, we need somebody that's going to take control and start leading that charge, and my job is to figure out how do we get people to better understand the brand of Macomb County, and boy, I'll tell you, that is my passion, really getting that out there, that message.
MakeMacomb.com.
And people can also follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. Again, they're going to get some great information about what Macomb County really is all about, whether you live there or whether or not you want to live there at some point in time.
All right, well, we look forward to hearing from you tomorrow morning during the Fab Five. We'll be broadcasting it live here.
Thanks, Christy. Thanks
for
having me.
All right, thanks so much. Mark Hackel, the Macomb County Executive, joining us right here on our live coverage of the Mackinac Policy Conference that's put on every year by the Detroit Regional Chamber. We're going to take you now to a session that is just